Call the City of Elkhorn City of Common Council, September 5th, 5:30 meeting to order. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Bruce Lechner.
Here.
Tim Sharota.
Here.
Gary Payson Jr.
Here.
Ron Dunwoody.
Here.
Scott McClory.
Here.
Ken Meinell.
Here.
Carol Young. Here.
Next, anybody here for public comment? You're here for public comment? Okay. If you give me 1 second, I need to read through. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes each. The public may speak in any item of the city concern, whether or not the topic is included on this agenda. However, if the topic does not pertain to an item listed on the council agenda, the council is not permitted to address or discuss the matter during this meeting. Under open meeting laws, the council must notice an item on the agenda to allow discussion on that matter. If council is not permitted to discuss your concerns, your comments will be considered and may be placed on a future agenda for further discussion. If you can come up to the podium and state your name and...
Hi, I'm Susan Melmanger with LRS. I came to visit you guys back February, March, I can't remember. I know it was cold out. So I just wanted to say hello, let you know I'm here if you guys have any questions about the trash and recycling. I'm not sure if that's a public comment, but just wanted to say hello. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? If not, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have the meeting minutes of Human Resource and Common Council, August 21st, 2023. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, discussion, or changes need to the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed on the Human Resource Common Council minutes of August 21st, 2023. Next, report of city officers. Mayor, I really have nothing except we had a good weekend for the fair, and I think it was busy, and I think everything turned out good. Adam?
So Ward was concerned that my report might be the longest thing on the agenda tonight. So I don't know if that's a challenge or what, but just a couple of quick updates. We're continuing to work with Creekside Community Development on the development agreement. So the 3 changes that the council asked that the developer make were incorporated into our revised agreement that was sent back to them last week, as well as some additional comments that the city engineer had. So haven't heard back on that, but we had a productive meeting with Creekside about their GDP last week, or maybe it's actually 2 weeks ago now. So that was productive. I know Creekside went back and made a lot of the changes that city staff had raised questions about or concerns about. So continuing to move forward, and so I just want to give you a quick update on that. We are going to be advertising for candidates for a temporary municipal judge. The court did appoint a interim for the next 90 days, but in terms of between that end of that interim period and then the special election in April, we are going to be accepting applications per council's request. The advertisement, which will start running on Thursday, will say that the council is requesting or preferring a candidate who's licensed to practice law in Wisconsin, so it will say that. Other noteworthy item updates, we do have our new HR generalist is actually here tonight, Casey Keogh. So, Casey, I don't know if you want to say anything or put you on the spot, but.
Good evening. My name is Casey Keogh. I'm the new HR generalist. I'm coming to you from the city of Waukesha. I have 8 years of HR experience working in a variety of areas, including recruitment, benefits, leave management. I'm very familiar with the Walworth County area and the city of Elkhorn. I grew up in a neighboring town of East Troy, and I've worked in HR in some of the resorts in the area, including Lake Lawn and Grand Geneva. My first job ever was actually at Culver's here in Elkhorn, so I'm very familiar with the area. I'm very excited to be here and working with everyone. Everyone's been very nice, so I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me. I look forward to working with all of you.
Welcome.
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 I think we're as excited as Casey is. I know Lacey was very excited this morning to get to work and start offloading. So, but anyway, no, we're excited to have Casey on board. And then I'm just going to actually turn it over to Carl's got a quick update for upcoming event.
Yeah, I know Adam sent something out to council members, but just wanted to remind everybody that we're doing a brat trot, which is like a fun run at Bayman Park, and we're lining that up with kind of ribbon cutting for the official opening of the pavilion at Bayman Park. So basically, the brat trot's a fun run where you run around Elkhorn Lake while making a brat, and then you consume the brat at the end. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast, and if anyone would like to attend the ribbon cutting, it's going to be at 10:30 with races starting at 11. Thank you.
All right, so that is it for me, unless Matt, do you have something to add on streets?
Not really. We opened up Centralia and Wright Street last week before the fair started, and Centralia, they're still working away. They're about a week behind. We just got an updated schedule, so they're moving forward. So that's about it.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Next, new business. Discussion and possible confirmation of mayor's appointment of Christopher Sprigler as city treasurer. I would like to appoint Christopher Sprigler as city treasurer if I get the council's approval.
I move we approve that appointment.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion pass. Thank you, council. Next, discussion and possible decision regarding accepting a proposal and drafting a contract for municipal solid waste and recycling services. Matt sent out a packet to everyone so everybody could see. Matt, is there anything you want to add or comment about?
No, I don't think so. We have both LRS and John's Disposal present if anybody had questions. Yeah, we went through, staff did. There's Joel, myself, and Naomi from Kapoor, and it's more of a quality-based evaluation that we did, and the results are what you see in the memo that we put together. That's up here. So some things for the council to consider, but I don't have anything else unless there's questions for me. Oh, actually, I do want to follow up with one thing. I did reach out and make some phone calls regarding like a reference check, and I did hear back from a couple of them. All of them are from LRS right now, but I could share those with you. I talked to the Village of DeForest, and they said they wouldn't hesitate to use LRS. And the City of Waterloo also they said it's going really good. I think they've been with them a couple of years, and they said that they're prompt to respond to issues when they do arise. And also the City of Edgerton, they said that they're the best that they've had, and they also followed up and said that there's always issues with garbage. You're always going to get missed services, but they're always good to respond. Same thing with Koshkanon. They had good things to say as well. So those are the 4 that I reached out to and got a hold of for what it's worth. That's
Council
it.
members, any questions?
I reviewed all the packages as well, and I actually rated all the companies and did it before I read your report, and I was identical. So I was really pleased with the solid pricing that was put in by LRS versus going to CPI. So.
If we go with this new company, what do we do about the transition? Like, how do we get all the old bins back to whomever, and how do we collect all those, and then how do we get new ones to everybody? And, how are we going to do that?
Well, it depends on the provider that we go with, probably, how that will all go.
Right.
I would imagine that, per the RFP that we sent out, it would be all new cans for everybody. So that would mean that Waste Management would have to pick up their existing cans, and then new cans would be delivered. That was one of the things I liked about LRS's proposal as well, is that they did spend quite a bit of time talking about their transition process. Out of at least 3 out of the 5 that I mentioned that I did a reference check on, they had Waste Management as a provider, and then they switched to LRS. So it seems that LRS is familiar with transitioning. So I think it would, again, that's probably how it would go. We've got a couple months to roll it out, but that's what would need to be done.
I guess maybe I'm not framing my question correctly.
Okay.
would it be the responsibility of the constituent to go to X place to get them, or would they be delivered to their houses?
Be delivered. They would be
Okay.
delivered, for sure.
All right.
For sure.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Yep.
Because I could see that would be a lot of rigmarole if, you know, people had to go get their own, or, you know, they have issues with their vehicles or whatever.
And I think, you know, it, again, depending on the provider, but, you know, we also were talked about, you know, going with 65-gallon totes instead of the 95, so that if you don't use as much and you're, you know, the larger one's too heavy for you, that there's that option. So there'd have to
Right.
be some communication between, you know, us, the provider, and the community. So,
That was only 2 questions I had. Thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to accept the proposal and draft a contract?
I'd make a motion to approve LRS as the provider.
We have a motion to approve LRS for accepting a proposal and drafting a contract. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Barry Payson Jr.,
Yes.
Ron Dunwoody,
Yes.
Scott McClory,
Yes.
Ken Minell,
Yes.
Carol Young,
Yes.
Tim Sharota.
Yes.
Motion passed. Accept LRS for a proposal and drafting a contract with them for future solid waste and recycling services. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.